Dominica, the untamed heart of the Caribbean. When people hear the name Dominica, many confuse it with the Dominican Republic. But Dominica is not about sprawling resorts or endless white sand beaches. This is an island that beats to a very different rhythm, raw, wild, volcanic, and green. Known as the Nature Island, Dominica is perhaps the most untouched and dramatic jewel in the Caribbean. A land between worlds. Dominica lies in the Lesser Antilles, right where the Atlantic Ocean crashes into the Caribbean Sea. It's nestled between two French territories, Guadeloupe to the north and Martinique to the south. At only 300 square miles, it's not a large island, but it feels immense because of its towering mountains, thick rainforests, and rugged coastline. The capital, Roseau, sits on the west coast, framed by volcanic peaks and black sand beaches. But getting there is an adventure. Dominica has no massive international airport. Instead, two small ones, Canefield and Douglas Charles, connect it to nearby islands. Most visitors arrive at Douglas Charles on the east, then travel an hour across the island's interior, winding through rainforests and mountain passes until reaching Roseau. That drive is like a journey into another world, filled with misty ridges, waterfalls tumbling from cliffs, and jungle so dense it looks prehistoric. Nature's fortress. Dominica's nickname isn't an exaggeration. Around 80% of the island is covered in forest. Unlike most Caribbean islands flattened by centuries of development, Dominica's interior remains nearly untouched. Towering mountains rise from the sea, including Morne Diablo Tins, the highest peak at 1,447 meters, 4,747 feet. The land is so rugged that only about 20% is suitable for farming or settlement, leaving the rest as a paradise for explorers. Water is everywhere. More than 360 rivers cut through the land, feeding into countless waterfalls, cascades, and natural pools. The island receives some of the heaviest rainfall in the world, keeping it perpetually lush. Hike through Morne Trois Pitons National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you'll stumble across boiling lakes, fumaroles, sulfur springs, and valleys that feel alive with steam and mystery. The boiling lake here is the world's second largest hot spring, a churning cauldron of volcanic water hidden deep in the rainforest. Fire beneath the surface. Dominica isn't just mountains and rivers, it's one of the most volcanically active places on Earth. 10 volcanic centers exist here, the highest density in any sovereign nation. The land constantly breathes, releasing heat through hot springs, geysers, and even undersea vents. At Champagne Reef, bubbles rise through the sea floor, making the ocean shimmer like a glass of sparkling wine as snorkelers swim among colorful fish. This volcanic richness also shapes life on the island. The soil is incredibly fertile, supporting tropical crops from bananas to cocoa. Natural pumice, clay, and volcanic ash are extracted for export. Even energy is tied to the volcanoes. Dominica has invested heavily in geothermal power, seeking to harness the Earth's heat for a renewable future. A story of resistance. Dominica's human history is as dramatic as its landscapes. Long before Europeans arrived, the island was home to the Kalinago people, descendants of the Carib tribes who once dominated the Lesser Antilles. Today, about 3,000 Kalinago still live on the island's east coast in a protected territory. They are the only significant surviving indigenous Carib community in the Caribbean, preserving crafts, dances, and traditions passed down for centuries. For Europeans, Dominica was once a forbidden fortress. Its rugged terrain made colonization nearly impossible, so it became the last island in the Caribbean to be officially claimed. For centuries, it was a haven for runaway slaves, adventurers, and pirates. Legends of buried treasure still whisper through its caves and bays. Eventually, France and Britain fought bitterly for control, with Britain securing it in 1763. Independence came in 1978, and unlike many other Caribbean states, Dominica immediately declared itself a republic rather than remaining under the British crown. A cultural mosaic. Dominica's people reflect centuries of mixing and survival. About 85% of the population is of African descent, with smaller groups of mixed heritage, Kalinago, and Europeans. The island's cultural life is a vibrant blend, French and British influences layered over African traditions, with indigenous roots still visible. English is the official language, but Dominican Creole, derived from French, is widely spoken, especially during festivals. It acts as a bridge to nearby French-speaking islands and stands as a symbol of resilience, a language once used in secret to resist colonial authority, now celebrated openly in music, storytelling, and daily conversation. Music pulses at the core of Dominican identity. The island gave birth to calypso in the 1970s, blending calypso, reggae, and funk, and later to bouillon, a high-energy genre that dominates carnival. Festivals are everywhere. The World Creole Music Festival draws artists from across the globe, while local feasts celebrate emancipation, independence, or simply the bounty of local crops. Goat Fest, Rabbit Fest, Breadfruit Fest, if it grows, jumps, or runs, Dominicans will turn it into a celebration. Guardians of longevity. There's another fascinating aspect of Dominica: its people live remarkably long lives. The island is home to one of the world's highest concentrations of centenarians. Researchers believe the combination of fresh food, active lifestyles, tight-knit communities, and the absence of modern rat race stress contributes to this phenomenon. It's not unusual to meet elders who are over 100 and still active in their gardens or kitchens. The wider world. Although Dominica doesn't attract mass tourism like the Bahamas or Jamaica, it has found its niche. Ecotourism is booming, diving, hiking, whale watching, and cultural exchanges bring visitors who want authenticity rather than luxury resorts. Agriculture remains vital, employing around 40% of the workforce. On the global stage, Dominica keeps close ties with its Caribbean neighbors through CARICOM. The United States and United Kingdom remain important partners, with many Dominicans living abroad in these countries. More recently, China has become a major presence, building schools and infrastructure in exchange for diplomatic recognition. An island unlike any other. In the Caribbean family, Dominica is the quiet, thoughtful sibling, the one who prefers hiking boots to beach chairs, the one who treasures forests over casinos. It's a place where rivers outnumber roads, where volcanoes breathe under your feet, and where traditions thousands of years old still echo in the songs of the Kalinago. Dominica may not be the easiest island to reach, but for those who make the journey, it offers something rare, a glimpse of the Caribbean before the world rushed in. It is an island that refuses to be tamed, holding on to its secrets in every mountain, river, and story.